Alright, it's the day that a lot of us Sony shooters have been waiting for. The release of the A7V has finally come around with changes in the camera body itself. The sensor has got some new AI updates, of course, and some nice IBIS and video updates as well. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Tom. I'm a wedding photographer based in the UK. On this channel, we provide strategies and tools helping wedding photographers grow their businesses in a way that works for you. So starting off with the body, it's got a new 4-axis multi-angled 3.2-inch screen. It's also got an updated grip, which is based off of the A7R5 body. However, they haven't included the dual CF Express card slots like the A7R5 has. So if you're shooting to a CF Express, as wedding photographers, we usually use dual SD card slots. You can't shoot to dual CF Express cards. So if you do have a CF Express card and you're also shooting to an SD card, the speed of the SD card is actually going to bottleneck the speed of the CF Express. So no matter how fast your CF Express card is, if you're dual shooting to an SD card, it'll only be as fast as your fastest SD card. It's also got the updated grip as well, so it's slightly easier to hold if you have slightly bigger hands. There's also dual USB-C ports with the capability of 4K 30 streaming directly to your PC. The new sensor is a stacked Bionz XR2 processor with a built-in AI unit. The new stack structure enables blackout-free 30 FPS shooting with the electronic shutter only. Now bear in mind that the A7 IV had only 10 FPS on both the electronic shutter and the mechanical shutter. That stacked structure also reduces the rolling shutter effect, but the mechanical shutter will be remaining at 10 frames per second, so not always suitable for some lighting situations and flash synchronization. The sensor does remain at 33 megapixels, however it does have improved autofocus with AI subject recognition. Now, between you and me, I know as much as you do about what AI subject recognition actually means. Obviously, they showed some examples of it tracking different subjects, such as humans, birds, animals, different things like that. Now, we can only see how well this works in real life scenarios. I don't have my hands on the camera yet, so if you do want to see that in action, check out some other bigger YouTubers such as Taylor Jackson, for example. Now, interestingly, we also have reduced noise at higher ISO and better tonal accuracy. Again, I can't see how this works without having the camera in hand, but for wedding photographers, these two things are very important. If they actually work, that tonal accuracy will be so good for us. As often in fast-paced scenarios, such as a wedding, we don't have time to change white balance all the time, so I generally tend to leave mine on auto white balance, but it does miss the mark quite a bit. So if we can get it more accurate, that's great. I'm all for it with the AI features on this new sensor. The reduced noise at a higher ISO will be a pretty nice feature to have as well. Sony demonstrated an image with 6400 ISO with barely any noise. They did, however, mention that for a lot of their extended raw processing capabilities, you do need their own Imaging Edge desktop application. In my experience, it's not the best app, but for these extended raw processing capabilities, it might be worth getting into. Sony described their new tonal accuracy as deep learning light source estimation for accurate auto white balance. So whatever deep learning means, again, you know as well as I do how well this is going to work. So I'm not going to get this camera on pre-order. I'm going to see what people's experience with it is like, watch some tutorials and reviews before I take the leap into buying this camera. There is also a speed boost function, which will be a nice to have for wedding photographers as well. I can imagine that it will be really useful in scenarios like confetti throws. So what you can do is press a button and it will go from 10 FPS to the 30 FPS maximum shutter speed. It also has pre-capture, which I imagine will work a lot like how live photo works on smartphones. Basically how it's going to work is if you half press the shutter and then take a photo later on, it will save everything from 1 second before you take your photo, and you can select which image you want the most. Again, that'll be really useful for scenarios that are fast paced, such as confetti throws again. Lastly, on the photo front, we have creative look film, so you can get film looks baked into your RAWs, a lot like how the Fujifilm X100 series does things. It's not something that I'm probably going to use a lot because I do use film emulation software such as Dehancer, but if you do want film-like photos straight out of camera, for example, if you're traveling and you just want to do it quickly and you want to export straight to JPEG, I imagine this will be quite useful as well. For video, we have 4K 60 uncropped at 10-bit 422, so that's another great addition to the camera. The A7 IV had 4K 30 uncropped. They couldn't do 60, that had to be cropped in the APS-C mode. We do now, however, have 4K 120 FPS, which is using the APS-C mode. We're also getting 7K 60 frames a second oversampled footage. If you don't know what oversampling is, basically the sensor is capturing a 7,000 megapixel wide image and then downscaling it to 4K so that you've still got manageable files. However, you're getting more detail in each shot. We're also getting inbuilt LUTs, and can I say, thank God, if you do not have a monitor to hand, you are seeing exactly how your image is going to look when you have got your final edit as well. And one more thing for video is focus breathing compensation. The inbuilt image stabilization has a small upgrade as well. It's now on 5 axes. I won't go too much into that because I don't know a whole lot about image stabilization, but do have a look into it if that interests you. So my final thought on this camera is, if you are in the market for a new Sony camera, I would strongly consider the A7 IV. It is priced at £2,799 or $2,899, so it is $400 more expensive than its predecessor, the A7 IV. However, taking all the upgrades into account, if you are in the market for a new camera, I would suggest buying an A7 V instead of an A7 IV. However, the A7 IVs will go down in price, so it's all up to personal preference. The A7 V to me seems like a cheaper A1 Mark II, which shoots 8K and has a 50 megapixel sensor. I think most people are hoping for an open gate sensor as well, which is when the camera uses the entire sensor to shoot video instead of cropping down to a usual aspect ratio like 16:9. As always guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.